It's going to build some confidence going into this first round of the first half.
Going into the 16-14.
16-14, man. That's a barn burner.
I feel it.
I hope it gets that close, and then we go overtime. Just to spite you. Just to spite your prediction.
Goodness.
And here we go, folks. You're watching CEVO TV. It's Justus Pro against SapphireKelownaDotCom here on Inferno. It's a makeup game from Week 4-1. Justus coming off of that loss to Savage, which you likely saw. You joined us earlier. It's looking like it's going to be an execute onto the A site. Here comes Wabbit storming into A. Loses his head to Peter. And the bomb is dropped in front of truck. Ocean shoots his teammate in the shoulder before trying to zero in as Peter picks up his third frag of the round. Just a stalwart defender over there on the A site. He's going for the knife kill onto Tovu. Can't connect. But very nicely done by Justus Pro defending the A-bomb site and not giving up a plant there, particularly Peter.
Yeah, it was like a fast, semi-fast A-take, splitting apps and Boiler. Ended up just being a real A map there, an A site, with the cover going to the favor of Justus Pro. Peter getting an important 2 frag. They had a really good crossfire. They kept their pit player. Actually, their pit player got traded out, but only after a certain amount of time. So they were able to sustain enough control at A that they were able to close out the round convincingly, and they did. So a really good one for them for sure.
Yeah, they had 2 guys stacked on the A site, so
yeah,
that initial guy, Wabbit, I think it was, to push in there just really had no chance. As Peter with that FAMAS picks up Ocean, who was blinded and hopping across middle to try to get to the cover of bench. Couldn't do that. So now on the save, Sapphire Kelowna down a man. We've got 3 FAMASs on the board for Justus Pro and a P90. As Planks steps out from balcony with that P90 to eliminate Wabbit. Frags going the way of Justus Pro here, despite the slow play of Sapphire Kelowna. And they've moved their way over to the banana. 2 defenders there for Justus Pro. It looks like Flocky's going to try to pretty flash for his teammate, the number 5 man. That's Elise. Here comes the flash. He doesn't really need it. Gets the initial frag. Follows it up with the second. Flocky adds 1. Stalwart defense by Justus Pro, barely losing any health on that round.
yeah, really good. And again, anti-ecos more and more common every single day. So the fact that they were able to keep as many teammates alive as they did during that round means a lot, I think. And the fact that they were able to build up that bank early also means a lot. Now we have a really, really forced buy coming out from Sapphire Kelowna, who weren't able to get the bomb down either round. So I don't think that Justus are expecting this at all. I mean, it's pretty common to consider the fact that a team is going to get the bomb down and therefore a buy. But wow, and they get the opening pick. This is a really, really early buy.
Oh, so risky, but it looks like it will pay off, and they will take control of the B bomb site on those 2 frags at car, as it looks like both Justus Pro defenders at B opted to push up there. Like you said, not expecting that buy from SapphireKelownaDotCom. It has turned it into a bomb plant, but there's still 3 alive for the CTs. Trying to get the retake here. Peter is jumping through the smoke. And the terrace off the back of that broken buy went around. That was pretty impressive, Launders.
I think the answer there was, moving fast, and they did it. I didn't expect less from this game for that to have these really tight rounds. Now we still have a buyout for Justus Pro, as it's not uncommon for a terrorist team to buy 3 rounds in, but it's just really uncommon when they do it on the back of 2 rounds where they didn't get a plant or even knock down that many guns. So I'm really surprised that they ended up winning that round. I think Justus wouldn't have maybe pushed up that early on banana, or maybe played it differently if they considered the fact that they were going to buy regardless. So I think the surprise element had a lot to do with that round, and they really played it well, pushing really early. And even though they got smoked out, they decided, hey, we're going to push through the smoke, because they probably think there's a 100% chance that they're going to wait the smoke out. And they really caught them off guard.
Yeah, just using the numbers there, and they got lucky in the sense that Justus Pro did stack both B defenders at the kind of haystack sandbags area. They got the frags pushing through the smoke as Char. Lucky headshot saying, look what I found through the smoke. Gets the initial frag for SK and wiggles his reticle around to celebrate. But I think, like you said, Launders, obviously a ballsy play by Sapphire Kelowna. A little bit of the element of surprise and a little bit of luck with the positioning paid off as they pick up that round. The first real gun round here, I would say, here in the 4th. And they're going to make a play on to, it looks like, the A-bomb site. As AGM is there to contest the arches rotate, and he loses his life quickly. Doing really insignificant damage as they're going to take control of the A-bomb site. There's one man there to defend. It's Planks just trying to stay alive in pit. Won't even contest the plant as he's fired off. Connects over the top of Car on the Ocean, but loses his life in the trade out to Tovu. Peter, last man standing, he's caught in library. He's up against 4 terrorists, and he will retreat through CT to hopefully live to fight another day. We'll have to see if SK decides to hunt. Looks like they might do so as Wabbit is already moving through CT spawn. Speedway, he sees Peter, suspects he's there, but Peter connects with the crouching headshot, but traded out ultimately by Char. SapphireKelowna tying things up there.
Yeah, I mean, they were down a man at A site, and then AGM really put all his eggs in one basket with that flash that he really wanted to work. You know, I think they telegraphed it. You know, a person standing at arch and peeking is not uncommon. He peeked extra wide, committing to it. And I think he did that in the face of 3 players. I really, didn't like seeing that. I feel like that put his teammate in pit in jeopardy, and they should have more played for the rotates as opposed to trying to trade out immediately. Pretty risky. Yeah,
that's a good point. Not measuring or weighing the risk there, I guess. Let me just say I like SapphireKelowna's avatar, little SK flower. Very happy.
Why isn't that on the lounge? They don't put that up.
Yeah, good point.
It affects your odds.
I think that would, yeah. You know how, like, in March Madness, girls would just bet on the teams whose jerseys they like. It's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's real life.
There we go in the 5th round. SK tied it up and looking to take the lead here with Justus Pro saving. Luxury CZs across the board for all of them, as they will likely rotate towards B. But surprisingly enough, the bomb is not heading to B. They've all rotated out of the A site. Every single one of them. Here comes the engagement over to B, and if SapphireKelownaDotCom is smart, they will waltz into the A site uncontested and get the bomb planted, as Justus Pro says, oh my goodness, did we really bite on that fake?
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk. They moved on very little information, apart from how much time they had spent at one place. I mean, the way that SK were playing that, I feel was very punchable in the sense that they were kind of out individually. Like walking into B on an anti-eco could be a quick way to find out if a site is stacked. But if you drop a man and then drop a gun, and all of a sudden it's 5v4 and your team has a gun, then it really puts your team in jeopardy. I don't know. It can make sense though, just trying to go in, and he ended up getting 2 frags, so that worked out. But ultimately, you have to, you have to risk it. You don't know if it's going to be A or B, and
and the
they
fact
did
that it
that.
was an eco, they kind of have to overcommit somewhere.
Yeah,
to use the man advantage, and
it's kind of like if I were to bet on a match and on CS:GO Lounge, I wouldn't switch it if I was 50-50 on it, because then you feel like you went back on the right decision. Whereas opposed to if you just stuck with your decision, it doesn't feel as bad. So
right, go with your gut, as they say,
yeah.
right? And their gut was to rotate in that scenario. Unfortunately, they just kind of guessed wrong. As Wabbit getting the kill from window room. On to AGM, the opening frag here in this gun round, 3-2. Extremely close, and Justus Pro wants to win this one. Of course, they saved the round before. Economy suffering here, although Sapphire hasn't really been able to build up a huge economy on their end. So Justus Pro kind of a round win or 2 away from forcing SK to save.
Yeah.
As they don't want to surrender too many more rounds here, given that they are starting out on the easier side. I think you're one who likes to comment that really the onus is on you on CT side to deliver. As here comes the entry through the smoke into the B site. Flocky is going to step out with the spray down, but oh, much as the woe, the silenced M4 runs out of bullets and can't connect on the 3rd. It's now a one-on-one scenario with the bomb dropped at the end of Banana, basically at the B stairs. As the terrorist is wrapping around. That's Char. He's down to 7 HP, so this is going to be a tough win for him. All he has is a molly. He's going to pick up the bomb and toss a nade. Peter is in good position to drop him. All he has to do is nick him. He's down to 7 HP. He's behind the fountain, though. So he will get the bomb planted safely.
Oh, man. Oh,
Connecting with the headshot with 7 HP. The clutch by Char. Woo-hoo-hoo. Big round win. It's 4-2.
That's why I use the silence.
That was nasty.
7 HP. I mean, the peak was great, and he hit the head, but the fact that Peter wasn't able to do like one hit when he was in like kind of plain sight is just kind of nuts. I mean, that was that's crazy. I mean, right after on the back of Flocky's huge 3K, I'm sure he's pretty upset that they lost that round. But wow,
Yeah, that was a case where, he kind of knew he had to cross into no man's land, expose himself to CT spawn to pick up that bomb. All he had was a molly. He didn't even have a smoke to get a clean pickup, and yet he was still able to do so. As on the back of these AK kills, Char getting 2 at the end of Banana. There's one still defending there at the B bomb side. It's Flocky's going to pre-flash himself, but wisely, Char retreats. Heard that flash coming as he adds a 3rd kill on the round for himself. It's up to Peter once again. This time all he has is a CZ in his hand. And I think I would add to that, Launders, that might be a case where, I don't know, is Peter a lot more comfortable having the op in his hand and just...
oh, that was actually Plank. So Peter was the first person to peek him, and he ended up losing the trade, put him down to 7 HP, and then Planks was actually the one in the 1v1.
Gotcha.
So,
and
yeah.
that was an unfortunate loss for them because he had the favorable position, I think, in that round. And for them to pick that up, particularly with him having 7 HP, is not only kind of crippling to them, but also demoralizing too.
Yeah, I'm going to just say he was unlucky, but ultimately, if you look at the score right now, it could have been nearly the opposite if that round had gone their way. They put them in a position where, and we're still going back to that round, where there was like 20 seconds left on the clock. The mollies came out at B, so I think they were pretty certain there was going to be a B execute. Elysian ended up getting 1, and then Flocky got 3 after a 1-for-1, so the round just looked so promising. And they put Char in the 1v2 in a quick one, so Peter didn't have the time to fall off right away, and so he ended up dueling Char and losing that. So Char ended up getting like a pretty nice 1v2. It's just that.
And here comes the execute towards A through the smoke. Peter with the gut shot on the L's. This is looking pretty promising for Justus Pro. There's a second for Peter. 1 remaining for the Terrace. He does have the bomb on his back, but he's completely flanked. As Elige will connect with a little bit of help from Planks. It's a convincing round win for Justus Pro, one that they needed.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just on the back of a kind of a mistake, I suppose. And just a little bit of unluckiness. I'm sure it seemed like his crosshair was on him, but ultimately it results in a scoreline that's not favorable for the CTs, dramatically so. So, pretty unfortunate a round for Justus Pro that affected the momentum, but they were able to win 2 rifles in a row. That says a lot. Now it's going to be Sapphire Kelowna on another rifle. Actually, did they win last round? Did SK win the round before?
Justus Pro just picked up that one.
So they just got a ton of money then, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing. Oh, yeah, Sapphire had a decent bank going into that previous round, so the fact that Justus Pro won it and also won it by only losing a man bodes extremely well for just the economic situation in this game. And we're already seeing that this is going to be kind of a gritty match. It's extremely close. The rounds on the micro level are going to be hard fought, and I'm thinking more and more your prediction might be pretty close, Launders. We're looking at maybe a 16-14 game the way this is panning out so far. It's 5 alive for both teams, and look at the boost. Connecting onto Elise, he's brought down to 7 HP. And Sapphire keeping their options open, having committed to a site, grabbing some intel at B, and now moving towards mid, and now kind of shake and bake back towards B in Banana. So they've got one man, the number 9 man, Els, kind of on the lurk over in alt mid. But now they're definitely staged up in a bunch formation at Car at the end of Banana, looking to make a play onto B. Let's see if they can connect on their entries, as they're not even going to opt to smoke CT. Here comes the smoke. It's a little late. They'll smoke off spools as well. The counter flash was out, I believe so. His Char is now stuck in sandwich. There's another. He's going to go for the plant, and from New Box, Eldridge is able to drop one, but he's brought down to 7 HP as Char removes him from the field of play. He'll drop a smoke to try to re-smoke off the CT. But unfortunately, a bomb was dropped into Fountain. What? The last man standing is Els. Time runs out as Els connects with 2 frags. He'll just try to survive here at the end of this round, and he does.
Oh, I thought he was winning that round. Yeah, so I think the key play there was Elige was able to stay alive at a new box and ended up getting an extra frag on the player who was planning with a headshot, even though he had red health. So staying alive is so valuable sometimes, and one of those situations appeared that round. So good on him for doing that, and playing the CT a little bit more carefully is what they need to do. That was what they had trouble with on Dust 2 versus Savage, and I think that it's going to be the name of the game here. So The reason I felt this game was going to be so close is because both teams are so good on T side, and that means that they take a lot of risks on CT that jeopardize rounds. And even though you have an advantage on CT, basically nullifies the advantage, puts it kind of in an even playing field for both teams. Now, I suspect that they're going to play like that for the rest of this half, as they've already shown that they do it. But Peter has been opting a little bit more passively, which I like, and it seems that they're winning more rounds than they're losing at this point.
Yeah, perhaps learning from his mistakes on Dust 2 with some of those pushes, particularly that late one on Catwalk. As we have 4 of Sapphire Kelowna staged up in Banana with the bomb dropped on T-stairs, kind of in that neutral position. Looks like they just want to get themselves a frag here. As Justus Pro has been able to rattle off 2 in a row here, and if they pick up this round, they will likely force Sapphire Kelowna on the save. It's an attempted execute onto the A site, or B site, excuse me, and it's been completely and wholly unsuccessful, as now Els has the bomb. He's moving over towards A, and he loses his life to AGM from the pit. Huge convincing round win by Justus Pro to tie it up. They don't lose a man.
Yeah, they ended up throwing a molly down right in front of the smoke, which was what was the key play there, and the counter flashes were just too strong. I mean, they telegraphed the exact time that they would be pushing through that smoke to a T. I mean, I even saw it happening, considering they tried to pull the exact same thing on the round that Char won in the 1v2. So this time they just dealt with it better, and that means that Justus Pro are looking a lot stronger now. I think that they're going to have a little bit more of a promising side now that all the mistakes have been made, I feel like.
Yeah, they've got a decent economy now to where if they do somehow lose this round, which is against the save, they do have enough to rebuy as well as an op for Peter.
Whoa, Char's all the way up arch, though.
Yeah, look at this push. Just supreme aggression by Char has got him already into the library position.
Ooh, and Amps goes down.
As they actually are able to get control of the A site, but no! Elige gets 2 with his M4 as the bomb is dropped at Moto. So now it is a 2-on-3 scenario. Make that 2-on-1, or 1-on-3, excuse me, as Peter and Flocky combine to remove the 2 remaining terrorists from the field of play. Justus Pro retakes the lead.
Yeah, and you know they held on to that round pretty nicely. What was a partial buy? I think 2 rifles, or
no? I think that was pretty much a full-on save.
Oh, okay.
Well, they invested in some nades. They invested in some utility nades, I think.
Yeah, okay. So that was a pretty good attempt. I mean, I think is still the site that they want to take, as opposed to doing full executes on B, unless it's like a late round rotate back to B. I think that will probably have more success at A, but we'll see what they try to do. Obviously, getting the opening pick could dictate where they go more than anything else, but almost losing AGM. Oh, losing him anyway. A 1-for-1, not good for the CTs in my opinion.
Yeah, that was an engagement over at B that they won, but meanwhile losing another at the A middle defense. As the bomb is staged up in alt middle. Perhaps making a play on A, and like you said, Lawners, this splits the D. You lose that swing man, as you likely will stick with the split 2. 2 at B, 2 at A. As here comes the execute. Onto the A bomb site. Peter will try to defend from the large side. Connects with that shot on the Char. Wabbit and his teammate forced to run through the fire, as Peter is still defending from the center of the A site. Trying to make sure he contests both sides, but in a difficult position as Wabbit gets the entry onto Peter. Els gets one onto planks from the balcony position. They take control of A and get the bomb planted. It's up to Flocky and Elige to get the retake. Elige loses his life, as does Flocky. Sapphire Kelowna ties it up with that round, and back and forth this game goes.
Yeah, and you know, just expected, but man, Peter missed a shot on inside the site that was pretty standard. I feel like if he hit that, it probably would have made a big difference. Now the pit player ended up dying too, so not all the onus is on him, but ultimately they were in a 4v4, so it was on them to get more than a frag each to defend them sites. As you know, as we mentioned, the defense is split up. So in that situation, when you have 2 at each site, A is definitely more susceptible than B, because B hasn't lost any players. I think it would have been smart to half rotate someone over in light of that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ultimately, just lose. Oh wow!
What just happened?
Flocky was playing behind new box. Char boosted at logs from Banana. He just hops over the ledge, over the fence, just to get some intel, and Flocky decapitated him. I mean, beautiful shot there. It was almost like he was expecting it.
Where's our 5th player? Am I missing something? Where is the 5th player on CT?
Let's see. Oh, good point.
Oh,
Yeah, we
he's
don't.
boosted. He's boosted. Okay. He's boosted at mid.
Oh, it's they're on top of each other. The number 2 and the number 1 man boosted at this interesting position. We got AGM watching Boiler. We got to watch from this.
Now, I'd be surprised if this works. The smoke is out.
Oh, come on. Please push him. They're not going to. Unfortunately, they're going to be. So here we go. Here comes the execute. Onto the B-bomb site. Wabbit connects with that shot after 2 of the terrorists are brought down by the B defenders. He's looking to follow it up with a second. Misses that shot. His teammate moving in for the plant, though. As CT is smoked, Wabbit smokes off the construction. Well, actually, that's a bad smoke for CT. AGM makes him pay for it as Plank connects onto Wabbit. It'll be a defuse, and only 1 man lost in the process for Justus Pro. They'll retake the lead. It'll be 7-6.
Yeah, and sometimes a bad smoke can be worse than no smoke, right?
Yeah, you assume it's good, and it kind of gives you that comfort level, and then they're just threading the needle through the gap.
Mm-hmm. So I think the B holds are obviously much stronger for Justus, and that's why I would have said that it probably would have been smarter to rotate to play 3A 1B in that previous situation, because then you would think that Sapphire would go for A, considering B is a lot more difficult, and the defense is thinned out in the 4v4. Now, they've tried B again on these full executes. They get telegraphed, they get traded out pretty easily, and the rounds are won. Now, again, there might be more pressure on A, so this opening pick at A, okay, see, the opening pick goes to Justus Pro, and that's why I feel like they're going to win this round.
Yeah, starting out strong here. Off the previous round win, but evening things up from Boiler is Wabbit. That AK headshot onto AGM. It's looking like they're favoring an A execute, but
Now we have
Justus
3
Pro
players.
already calling on the rotate. This might be wise for Sapphire Kelowna to reverse their field of play, and it seems like they're entertaining that idea, as I think that's the number 0 man, Tovu. He's kind of favoring down Banana, perhaps checking to make sure they weren't pushing. And it still looks like they might be committed to an A push, but Justus Pro has already rotated for this. They're in good position to defend it. Let's see if Tovu can get the entry kill. He comes up the car. Wabbit gets 1 onto Planks, but Peter, the trade out onto 2! Goodness gracious, but Ocean has made his way into the site. He'll try to get the bomb planted. It's a 2-on-2 scenario. Els connects onto Flocky, brings it to a 2-on-1. He'll plant in the corner. It's up to Elige. He's got a kit. He's up against 2. One of them in half health. It's Ocean, who is, I think, in... No, that's Els and Pit. Ocean is on site. He's the planner. Dodges that flash. Trying to isolate one of these players. Thinks it's a second flash. Knows one is in the corner. It's Ocean, the man who's wounded. Connects. Brings it to a 1-on-1. Running out of time, but he does have a kit. He picks up the AKs. Up against Els, who connects with the Galil, winning the round. Sapphire Kelowna retakes the lead with that round win.
Yeah, I mean, in a situation where
that's a tie.
With a tie, yeah. And that was a situation where, Justus had the right spots, but Wabbit was able to get 2 for 1, especially that pick out Boiler where he took some damage and still was able to get another pick. So ultimately, that came down to aim. I think Justus probably should have won the round, but it seems even with 3, they weren't able to hold A. So their A is just ultimately much weaker than their B, and in light of that, I think they should... Well, it's going to be the last round, and I think you're probably going to go with what works in the last round as a terrorist.
And actually, I guess off of the spawn, AGM opting to go for the quick pick in Banana, which he does connect on. But Ocean evens things up with that frag onto Peter there. And in true appropriate fashion, like you said, Loners, the last round, but essentially a gun round, as both teams were pretty much able to buy a decent amount of artillery and utility nades. The only one weak in the gun department was Flocky with the FAMAS.
Yeah, I feel like Justus are just too hungry for frags, and they get the opening pick, and then they trade out and lose the second pick from peeking from like another site, right?
Right, they lose that advantage quickly. They get
and then they lose
overzealous.
And then they lose the round. So if they got that opening pick, say played super passive, forced an F full-on execution, they know they could stop it at B. Why couldn't they stop it at A? But it doesn't seem like they like to do that.
And here comes the entry onto the A site. AGM tries to connect on that shot. Cannot do so. From the pit, Flocky drops Topu with his FAMAS. So you know he's not from the pit. He's looking into the pit as the bomb is picked up by Char. He's going to try to get the bomb planted safely. Smoked off. Flocky can peek from balcony. Doesn't look Char's way. And he pays for it.
Oof.
But that frag from AGM will get the final round win of the half for Justus Pro. They'll be in the lead 8-7, as close as it can get here in the first half of Inferno.
This is the 16-14 of the first half, so
Pretty much.
just like to point that out.
It seems like you've called it on point thus far, if the second half is at all like we've seen from this first one.
Yeah, and it might not be. There's still a pistol round to throw momentum one way, and then there's also eco rounds in that respect. But I think that, Sapphire, I feel like have the potential to win more rounds on CT. Like at this point, you might think that Sapphire should be able to win. I just think that if they play as wild as the other team is playing, and I feel like they both are that kind of team, they will make some mistakes, and you have the aimers on the other side to capitalize on them. So, you have players that are hungry to win duels, and if you have too many of those players, then you end up going back and forth on those duels. Ultimately, you can't win every single one, right?
Right.
So that's what we kept seeing. The 5v4 turned into a 4v4, and the 4v4 favoring terrorists, even though the first kill went the way of the CTs. And if you just get the opening pick on CT, play super passive at both sites, force 4 players to have to execute after a certain amount of smokes, then it's like a 3-round win. But instead, they would make it a 4v4, have to spread themselves thin, and be unsure of where players are going to try to take, and that gave the advantage of the terrorists. Now, Justus Pro still coming out in the half with one round, but it's only 1 round. I'd say they're behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I would expect, and I think SapphireKelowna would expect from themselves to have done a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
At least a 9-6, if not maybe a 10-5 if you're doing really well.
But I think if Justus Pro win the pistol round,
should have done a little bit better. So we'll see.
But I think if Justus Pro win the pistol round, they could win the game.
Yeah, this is going to be huge here to start the second half. So we wait for the final player to ready up. Looks like it's going to be Shar. It's the other 9 have readied up here. We'll take this time to again thank our partners, Game Servers, for providing you the servers for CEVO Free, particularly. Obviously, CSGO Lounge for all your betting needs. The 2 Justus Pro matches tonight have been up there. And then, of course, the Alt-Pug guys for the recent integration, bringing up the free pugs, which are still available and will be available into perpetuity over at CEVO.com. If you guys haven't got in on that, certainly do so. And then the LAN finals, GXL, is still coming up, and I think there's still some slots in that BYOC for the second day. So if you haven't checked that out, certainly go and do so. So here we go. It'll be the second half of Justus Pro against SapphireKelownaDotCom. 8-7 here on Inferno. We'll see who can win this ever-important pistol round here in the second half. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Mess with Launders. It's a triple header, our last matchup of the night. Will Justus Pro split, or will they go 0-2 tonight? We'll see. This pistol round will decide a lot in that. It's looking like we're going with a nade stack into Banana from SapphireKelowna. They only throw 1, as it looks like Justus Pro wisely waiting at the bottom of T-stairs. Let those nades get used without doing any damage to any of them. Decent amount of utility nades on the backs of SapphireKelownaDotCom. They've got a couple of smokes, a couple of flashes, 3 smokes actually, a couple of flashes, a couple of HEs. As Char connects with that long-distance USP headshot onto Flocky, which will kind of force the hand of Justus Pro. It looks like they're going to storm down Banana and try to take control of the B-bomb site. Let's see how this fares. Here come those utility nades from SapphireKelowna on the CT side. They get entry into the B-bomb site as AGM connects on a rotating L's through construction. The bomb is now planted. Great start for Justus Pro here in this round. Can they hold it off as Peter connects with a headshot? 2 on the Char and Ocean. It's all left to Wabbit, who does have a kit. He's coming through Banana, but he'll face off against 3 of Justus Pro in the air in great position to get the crossfire as Peter makes it a 3K for him. Justus Pro winning the all-important pistol round to make it 9-7 here.
I mean, I know the score is really close, but Justus Pro won a very important pistol round there. While they already had a round lead, and I mean, provided they don't get ecoed, I think they have good weapons to not get ecoed. I'd prefer a P90 over an AK, I think, in terms of facing a CZ head-on. But in this situation, we got a full bio for SapphireKelowna. They're going to want to win this round. Justus Pro might expect that they are going to try to win it, but I think that Justus Pro have a really good start here to the second half. Like, very promising. I think there's a big chance that they could win this game.
They're going with the A stat as Justus Pro connects with that P90 as you suggested, Launders. And if Peter can get this intel quickly as AGM drops L's with that AK headshot, he does have the intel quickly that the B bomb site is completely clear, so we'll see the rotate. Justus Pro likely heading there as quickly as they can to try to get the bomb planted. Ocean, realizing the bomb site has been compromised, has rotated to contest. He is stuck with just a pistol behind the car, going to try to counter flash and come out swinging. But that Galil by Flocky connects. So with the bomb planted at B bomb site, all 5 still alive for Justus Pro up against Wabbit and Char with just a couple of luxury pistols. Going to look for exit kills here if they can get them. And Justus Pro will take the lead. Well, not take the lead. They'll extend their lead to 3 with this round win.
Yeah, big round. And Wabbit here saving armor and 5.7, so not just the 5.7. Now, this doesn't mean that that's going to change their buy too much. They're still going to have to save another 2 rounds, but this is a round that they wanted to at least drop 2 guns, potentially 3, and hopefully win the round. So they weren't able to do any of that. It's a hit to the economy that they didn't need, and we'll set them back a little bit. It might force them to not have an op, which I think Wabbit would want to have.
Yeah, that's a wholly unsuccessful buy there with the pistol armor and not able to drop a single gun in the process, allowing Justus Pro to plant and survive successfully, which just only boosts their economy as it's now 10-7 moving into round 18. Sapphire Kelowna forced to save again, although Wabbit still has that armor off the save from the previous round. We'll have to see how things fare here as Justus Pro not having as great a round as half as they expected in the first half, but looking comfortable here to start the second. We've yet to see a proper gun round, though, so we'll have to see what happens when Sapphire Kelowna does get guns in their hands, which likely will be in the next round. Well, they might be saving the next, unless they can get some kills here. As Peter trying to get entry into the B-bomb site with that P90, and surprisingly, 2 of Sapphire defending from the new box position. They are stuck as one of them gets dropped, but look at Wabbit. I don't know if Peter expected the second guy to be there. He gets decapitated by that shot. As they do finally clean things up and get that kill, they'll get the bomb planted at B, as the 2 remaining CTs are going to rotate from Banana. It's the number 9 and number 0 man, Els and Tovu. They're smoked off, though. Justus Pro, despite having the gun advantage, of course, using the utility nades to their advantage, bringing it down to Els, who takes some damage from that grenade. Going to grab himself a StatTrak CZ and look for an exit. But it'll be 11-7 after this round ends.
11-7, and a lot to be said though on the first rifle round. I mean, they're going to have to go on a streak though, I feel like, to come out ahead, because I don't think it's going to be a clean run, starting from the rifle rounds on the part of Sapphire Kelowna, just considering the way that they play typically. Really good aimers, but really aggressive, and so I think that's going to be a folly, considering we have really confident aimers on the other team and you're going up against them. It's just not a game where you can win 100% of trades against someone that you have better game against. Especially, well, not especially. I mean, they are going to be on CT side, so they will have the positional advantage. But we saw rounds go the other way on the first half with Justus Pro. I just wouldn't be surprised if the same thing would happen on SK, and they have a round lead here to boot.
And here we go. Like you said, the first proper gun round. This will be extremely telling here in the second half. If you take a look at the frags, Justus Pro doing quite well. 4 of them above the 15 frag mark. Plank's kind of keeping up the rear, but when you've got your teammates fragging as well as they are, you don't necessarily have to be dropping too many bodies for your team to be successful. As both teams playing rather slowly here in round 19, first gun round of the second half, essentially. And we'll see where Justus Pro decides to bring the bomb. They've got 3 staged up at A, 2 alt, 1 at boiler area, with the other 2 and the bomb over in Banana. Looking to just grab some intel and decide where they're going to go as they take control of arches. Els is there to contest, though. Gets the spray down on 1, can't connect on the second, despite the fact that Planks was flashed. But he will rotate through CT, which basically means they can sandwich the B bomb site if they decide to push. They're going to wait for the number 2 man Planks to get in position. They're not even going to bother smoking off CT because they know Planks is there, as the 2 defenders are actually on the site. One of them gets dropped. That's Peter on the Ocean with the op. Tovu, as that dart connects onto one and a second on the Flocky, but Peter again with that op. He's able to drop Tovu. A nice stand there by him as Peter connects with his third kill of the round. Wabbit all on his lonesome against two. Bad smoke, though. He'll be able to walk through it. He'll have to look to his right, though. Connects onto planks. Has to reload. It's up to Peter. He's got 3 on the round. Will he make it a 4th to win for Justus Pro? Closing the distance is Wabbit as he connects with the M4 onto Peter. I think that was a smart play by Wabbit, knowing that Peter had the op. Try to close the distance, force him to use his pistol against your superior M4, and he wins that engagement to win the round.
That's nuts. Wabbit had 2 health. I mean, a burst fire I think would have been appropriate there, but damn, that was super close. Yeah, obviously his call was lit. He did. I mean, he's not gonna be feeling good about that for sure. But that was a close round. Peter did a lot of work that round. They opened up the site. He saved the planner from getting sprayed down. Unfortunately, couldn't win the clutch. And that's going to give SK around there, but super close. You know, not telling at all of whether or not SK are going to be able to claw their way back in. I think not just yet, because there is another rifle round right now to follow. So the momentum not swinging back completely in their favor. But if they are able to win this, you might be able to break the spirits of a team that do ride a lot on momentum. You know. Yeah,
it's a good point. You know, try to appeal to that emotional aspect of the game. As SapphireKelowna is heavily invested in this round. If they lose, they will definitely be on the save to follow it up. So we'll have to see how Justus Pro fares here. The full AK look as Wabbit whiffs on that off shot from balcony. Char going to rotate to take that position with his M4. As the bomb again is staged up in Banana with the number 1 man on point. That's AGM. Justus this time not able to take control of Arches, but looking like they're going to try. Got a molly in front of him which dissipates just at the right time. And it's looking like SapphireKelowna is just kind of conceding Arches, which is going to allow Justus Pro to wrap through CT. So once again, they're going with the sandwich look over at the B bomb site. We'll have to see if Ocean can fare a little bit better here from construction area. There's a jumping Elige who goes down to a headshot as Tovu connects with one as well, but Peter getting the trade out on the Ocean. They'll need to drop the other defender. It's Tovu. They have control of the B-bomb site, and Peter will get it planted. Wabbit, Char, and Els on the retake. It's a 3-on-3. Let's see what they can pull off here. SapphireKelowna desperately need this round, or they will be on the save, be on the back foot in the rest of the second half. Good positioning by Justus Pro to combine there at Garden to drop it down to the final CT, which is Wabbit, as Peter gets another 3 kills on that round. He is now up to 23, 3, and 11. Just a stellar game thus far by Peter.
Yeah, huge. He's doing a ton of work. His teammates, you know, putting in work, I think, a little bit more quietly, but ultimately he's coming through really big right now. And on the T side where he has that freedom, I think he's just going to be, you know, he's going to flourish. So in a 12-8 situation, Justus Pro have won another rifle round. SapphireKelowna only picking up 1 in total in this half. And we're starting to see the story of the last game with Savage, except for SK taking the part of Justus on this map. Now, the only difference is that there is a side bias, and it is more apparent, and the CTs will have the advantage and will likely pull out rounds, even if they aren't playing as well as the other team. But I think that SK are going to be prone to giving up a lot of picks, and that's going to be what helped Justus Pro close out a lot more terrorist rounds than they should.
Yeah, it's a good point, you know, kind of pointing out the economic disparity and the differences between the maps, given Dust 2 and now Inferno. Certainly more lopsided than Dust 2 is. As SapphireKelowna forced on the save this round, it'll likely be 13-8, unless something drastic happens here. The opening frag going to the terrorist, Justus Pro, favoring the B bomb site where there is only 1 defender. It's the number 0 man Tovu. He's in sandwich. He's got a teammate rotating through CT, but here come the terrorists storming into the site. He connects with 1 CZ kill, cannot get the second. As we'll watch from the number 6 man, it's a rotating Ocean, who is smoked off in CT, or in construction, excuse me. He moves behind the truck as the bomb gets planted onto the B site. SapphireKelowna staged to get some exit kills. They've got 1 in CT, 2 in Banana. Hopefully trying to connect with at least 1 kill and maybe get themselves a gun, but it'll be a 13th round win for Justus Pro. Sapphire Kelowna will have to get something going next round.
Yeah, and they've given up Arch a couple times. They've played that really passively, and that can be good in the sense that you're not allowing your teammates to. Oh wow, 2 kills to go down. This is pretty big for them. Oh, okay. But yeah, they're giving up Arch, and then the split B, it works out heavily in their favor. The second time they did it, they got 3 players through Arch into B. That just made it more like even better for them to defend the site like that and take it in the first place. Now they were able to trade out better the first time, but with a proper split like they were able to do, it just gave them a huge advantage to take B. They took B again on the eco, so now you wonder if they're going to try to go B once again, which probably isn't a good idea, because the more times you go there, the more likely that the team is going to be more prepared or more ready to telegraph what you're going to do. And so they do want to show presence at A and put pressure on it, make sure that they can keep Sapphire Kelowna thinking that they're at least going to go A, even if they were to fake it and go B.
Yes, Justus Pro is taking app control. Sapphire Kelowna is stacked Arch side. Playing a pretty forward defensive look at A right now. We've got Wabbit actually at the corner of porch watching back towards balcony with Els and his teammate. Flashing him in as Floki, excuse me. I was corrected on that earlier. Connects with the headshot on the Els. So initial engagements all even. It's now 3-on-3 with one defender at the A site. And again, the bomb with his teammate favoring towards B. It's looking like the 3 of them are going to make a go of it at the B-bomb site, and SapphireKelownaDotCom has guessed right as they've sent 2 to that spot. Now with the smokes out at CT, they're going to realize it's an execute onto the B site. Let's see how things fare. AGM is flashed. Tovu, the only defender on site. He's at dark. Ocean connects. Tovu connects. And
wow.
It looks like Ocean cleaned things up there with a 2K to end the round. Sapphire Kelowna gets back on the board. It's 13-9.
Yeah, it was a 3v3. They forced a slow rotate out of B. They smoked it off, so he had to rotate all the way through construction. They couldn't kill Tovu in the back of sight. The pop flash that he used worked perfectly. He was able to delay time and then ended up getting a P2K frag on the back of it, all the damage he dealt with the M4. So overall, they held that with just enough players and times to do it, and that worked out well for them. Sapphire Kelowna able to pull it around, but oh wow, and yeah, Justus right now on a save.
Yeah, a fortuitous save for SapphireKelowna.com, but unfortunately the opening frag takes out Wabbit. He gets a little too greedy, pushing up window alt mid, and gets taken out. But there's the bomb dropped by Ocean as Els connects with one as well, but Elige gets 2 of his own with the CZ. That's a very nice trade out by him to actually give them the man advantage. It's going to be up to Shar and Tovu. Unfortunately, Shara, he gets sandwiched there in pit behind the truck, but he's able to bring Peter down to 13 HP. Elige is, that M4 that he's able to pick up pays off. That's a 3K on the round for Elige. Justus Pro 1 round away from that all-important 15th.
Just enormous round by Elige. With 4 health, was able to do a dink and a body shot before our player was able to react on CT. So that was a big. Got the bomb down, killed 3 people, 2 with a CZ, and they both had 5 HP. It was unlikely that clutch would have been possible if he wasn't able to get that kill. So they won a round they weren't supposed to for sure. SK are on a save because they're completely money screwed and they're going to be buying, but it's not going to be much.
Yeah, they're just opting for a little bit of armor, those that can afford it, a few utility nades, and some luxury pistols. Kind of trying to pull a Hail Mary here to hopefully pull off this round to stave off Justus Pro, not allow them to get that all-important 15th round, potentially give themselves a chance to win without having to go to overtime. But it's going to take a Herculean effort to pull that off. Justus Pro looking a bit stronger here after their initial loss to Savage in the previous matchup. Again, 1 round away from 15. Sapphire Kelowna on the back foot, and Justus Pro probably knows it, but they're going to play smart here. They've got the initial frag on the Char. They've got Wabbit down to half health. Again, favoring the B-bomb side, where the number 6, looks like the numbers 9 man, I think, are defending. They're going to pre-smoke off the car area to not allow Justus Pro to push through, as they have all 4 staged up in Banana, so definitely looking like an execute onto the B site. But Sapphire Kelowna stacked up close, potentially can get some easy frags here, if they're lucky. Here comes the execute. Tovu connects with 1. Ocean gets 1 as well. Tovu forced to reload, though. That CZ, the clip is so short. So unfortunately, only 1-for-1 trades there. But that's a decent enough job considering you didn't have guns there. Justus Pro will take control of the site and they get the bomb planted. Wabbit connects with that CZ headshot on the Floki. It's a 2-on-2 scenario as Wabbit picks himself up a gun. Gonna come through construction. The 2 remaining T's, 1 at dark. Cannot connect. AGM burns down L's and gets the AK headshot on a Wabbit. So Justus Pro, 1 round away from the victory.
Yeah, they don't have it yet. I mean, SK are definitely, well, actually, yeah, a complete force buy. This time they're going to have kind of bigger guns this time. I mean, it's not going to be just pistols, and everyone's going to have armor, apart from Wabbit, who doesn't necessarily need it with a Mag 7. But I think if they just stay away from apps, they play the round out with picks like they've been doing, they should have no problem with this. But SK were able to bring that last round close, and they were able to do it with just pistols, so it might make a difference that they have bigger guns this time. I mean, these are a couple guns that if you just walk out at the wrong time, it's a free pick with no damage given to the other team. So
yeah, certainly good positions on this map for the shotguns to prosper. So we'll have to see if Ocean and Wabbit can't connect, as Elige has gone full troll mode as he pulls out his staff track Negev. Going to try to add to the numbers with that. He's pulling man in banana.
I mean, it is a good gun. It does a ton of damage, and no one can win a trade for you like face to face. But you lack a lot of mobility, and ultimately, yeah, it's a troll gun.
Come on, Launders, don't church it up. It's a troll gun. Here we go. Here comes the execute onto the B site. Oh, man. As Peter connects onto Wabbit, Tobu is in sandwich with his FAMAS. Drops Elige with the headshot. That's that Negev. It's on the floor. So Peter, the last terrorist alive, and he's got a shotgun in his hand. So he connects with a headshot on L's.
But he doesn't know.
He's going to find himself an AK as Shar. He's worked some magic before with very low health. We've seen it in this game. Can he do it again with 6 HP? Peter taking the bomb. Not actually plenty of time. He's going to have to hoof it to get to A to plant. I think he'll be able to do so.
Oh, yeah. What a round. If he wins this, what a round.
Crazy round to end this match on, as Shar has gotten there just as Peter is planted. Cannot connect as the flash and the AK do the work for Peter. 31-3-12 for him. Justus Pro wins convincingly, 16-9.